Yeah, you can share now.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay. So আপনার হচ্ছে উইন্ডো, রাইট? ইউ হ্যাভ উইন্ডোজ। ওকে, PowerShell এত। Uh, NX init playwright playtest. Okay, a complete logout. So, did you go through the 15-minute check? I think everything is there. Let me check. Okay, go there. There is a, I think there should be some mistake. Just a minute. Okay, so NPX na. It would be NPM.
Oh,
Try NPM. So,
yeah.
why you put init? Okay, so NPM init is fine. When you put init, it should be NPM, playwright latest.
Just one second.
So go to that page and the playwright comments, everything is there. And this page is very helpful. NPM in it, playwright.
Latest.
Yeah, enter.
Yeah, I already have to give enter here. Same thing.
Okay, I'm giving you the comment, just try it. Copy and paste. I think you did something. And you are using PowerShell. Instead of PowerShell, use Bash. Bash. Check the comment where that is copy and paste and enter it.
Okay. Okay.
And hold on. Where are you? In your folder, SDET2. Why Tuhin here? Oh, Tuhin's class, right? Then
No,
it,
it's enough. It's
okay, yeah.
my folder.
I got it. What is your folder name?
Folder name is as okay. Let me
So SDET
check.
store automation. Okay, fine. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, go there and put the comment. Copy paste.
Just
I gave it in the comment. You don't need to write it down. I already gave it in the chat box. Zoom chat. Open your Zoom chat.
yeah, I already copied. One second.
Copy and paste there. Yeah, enter. You see, now it's good. So you did some mistake over there. Yes,
Maybe
press enter.
npm in it.
Okay, press enter.
Right. Why?
Why or
Why?
enter? Why or enter? Press enter. Okay, so press enter. Enter. Just enter where?
Hmm.
Enter.
No, my God, sorry.
Yeah. So where do we put? Yeah, enter. Just enter. Okay, GitHub, enter. Yeah, done.
একটু
So
এখানে যাও না একটু।
yeah, true, enter. Yeah, so everything is good.
Yeah, honestly, what happened was downloading browser.
Yeah, everything is good, so you are fine. Okay, well.
Was also doing the same
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sharing my screen now.
Okay. Yeah, sure. In the meantime, it will complete here.
Yeah. So that's why. So are you guys seeing my screen?
Let me
Who is not seeing? You see this page, 15 minutes?
stop my sharing. Maybe then maybe I can see.
Who is not sure? Yeah, so
Oh,
Washim,
okay.
Washim and Ashraf is seeing my page.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so guys, I'm telling you again, playwright, playwright comments. So I put lots of effort for this page. So please try to go through it. It's so much helpful, so much helpful. At least go to down, go to down and try to not remember, try to remember is good things or try to go one by one. Then you will learn lots of things. Remember, I will prefer remembering almost everything. It would be helpful, really helpful. And sometimes in the interview they will ask, it's interview question. Sometimes they will ask you, okay, so how can you write your smoke suite? Just answer npx playwright test dash dash grep smoke. That's it. Then sometimes they will ask if you want to run more than one test in parallel, how can you do it? The answer is this: workers equal to how many, and here you see 15%. You can put the percentage, like if you have 100 test cases and if you put workers equal to 50%, that means 50% of your test running in one node parallelly, 50% and 50%. That means your execution time will be half. So that is, you see, is default. Worker equal to 1 means one test is running in one node like this. Then that is also interview question, definitely. So how can you retry your playwright? Suppose your playwright test fail one time, then you want to run it second time automatically. So it is actually under retry. If you put retry equal to 2, these things actually permanently set up in the configuration file, but manually when you run, you can add this parameter. Then timeout. So everyone is interview question here. Show report, then list, everything. Then especially on top installation, they will ask it. Then how can you run your playwright with okay, single test? How can you write a single test like this? So try to remember those comments. And here one flow chart is there. You should go through this. Okay, start, then install playwright. There is a two option. I think you guys didn't go through it, so it is so helpful. Look, illustration.
I have one question about the NPM and NPX. You just mentioned one thing, right? I forgot. Uh,
NPM is node package management. It is universal, and NPX actually only for the playwright stuff. Just remember this.
oh, okay.
If you need
So any
anything,
installation can
yeah,
use M.
yeah. If you need anything specifically just playwright related, just NPX. If you need overall universal, beyond playwright, because we need lots of things beyond playwright. Like we need to install database driver. It is actually not related to playwright, right? Then you have to
Hmm.
install install it like npm whatever, right? Then npm means all dependency, and npx playwright related dependency. Okay.
Right. Okay. 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 Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here, look, if you remember this flow, you will don't forget anything. So here, two option to install. So npm init, whenever you use init manual install, and npm init playwright latest to use that one. Then project setup, then development phase here you can use code gen. We already use code gen. And manual, we'll see manual when we do the framework things, because we have to write code, and all the locators here we use code gen, here manually we find the locator. Then run the test, just basic. Here basic, then basic run, how to run it, npx test, then head it, then in the UI. You see, three way you can run your test. That is npx playwright test, then with browser, and that is not browser but UI. We run it in the UI mode, we will do it again. That is the best one for debugging and everything. Okay, if test pass is fine, then this is the debugging mode. You can do debugging like this. If test fail, you can debug it like this. You can debug in three ways. They will definitely ask, if your test fail, how can you debug it? So you have to tell them npx playwright test that does debug, or that is the best answer. You can say, I used trace on playwright trace to debug the failing test. It's fine. It's the best answer. Then yeah, so that is the command. If you put, so automatically in your playwright report, trace will be attached. So, and that one is showing the trace. So trace, I think I showed the trace today. I'll show you trace. So that is the trace for the, so every time you should answer, I debug playwright test using show trace, playwright using playwright trace. So then fix issue, then run again, this kind of things. So try to understand this one. It is very helpful, and you will see all the flow visually, and try to remember all those comments. That's why I put this one, not for reference. I gave it to for remember, and it will be helpful for your playwright interview question. At least five questions will be asking from this page. Definitely sure. Okay, try to do it. And what is the update? You guys tried at home? Anybody?
But I already mentioned I had issue. That's why I didn't move forward. But yeah, tomorrow I can also spend long time to get the previous 2 to 3 class.
Okay, no problem. Where is my link? I forgot my link. Just a minute. Give me 1 second. Maybe here somewhere.
Also, I did the password for the UI, but I forget the password.
Hmm?
Did you share the password
For what?
for the UI like SDET step store lovable.apps when
No,
you log
it
in?
doesn't have password. You have to create. Like, okay, this one, right? This one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
So
Create. Yeah, what?
that functionality I put for practice is not a real apps. It's look like real apps, but the authentication is not real. You can go to look product when you okay, so you want to buy it. So add to, yeah, now you need to sign in. So for sign in, uh, you can like add randoms. Let's see. You put A.
No, I did it, but it is not.
Who tried? Wasim, you tried?
I tried, but it's required for password.
I think Ashraf tried. So
No,
before sign in, you have to register, right? So go here, full name, R RT. Then email a@gmail.com. Then password, put any. SDET 123 telemetry. Then SDET 123 telemetry. 123. Then personal, country select, United Kingdom, I agree. Then create an account. Fine. Create an account, save it. Now, yeah, everything is look good. So now sign out. Go to the sign in. Like here. So come to sign in. Is there? I already saved it. So go. Yeah, it's fine.
So everyone use the same password, or I can create myself one.
You can keep your one too. No problem. Okay. So we are fine. So now come to the real things. We are where? Last class. Open your Visual Studio Code. That is our test for that day. So we just learn it, very basic stuffs. Gradually we'll go in deep. So that's why I'm not giving hard time, just making you guys used to it this fast. Then you will grab everything by yourself. So that is the foundation. Okay, so now today we'll write some more tests, but before doing it, I will enhance this framework little bit, just little bit. So this framework has already couple of things we discuss other classes is by default Playwright config. We need to configure it a lot. Then packages, we need to configure it lot. Then git ignore means what? The file we don't want to share or we don't want to push to GitHub, we will put these things in the git ignore. Then under test, we will write all those tests. And here is test result. It is one time. Every time when we run our test, this folder is created, and inside the folder, test actually result is created. The node module is all those dependency downloaded for this project. And .github, it is actually CI file. CI means continuous integration. When we push our code to GitHub action, so this file will be running in GitHub action, not here. So we'll learn how to configure it, and not for EML. We need to create this file using even Python or using JavaScript or TypeScript. We'll learn it. It is actually advanced level. So in general, when we install Playwright, it will create it because we selected GitHub action file. So it actually create a file. This file says what? Playwright test, push branch, main branch or master branch, job what? Timeout Ubuntu. It will be installing an Ubuntu in GitHub. GitHub Actions. Ubuntu is a unique Linux machine. So it will actually run a Unix machine in the Docker, then do everything, whatever we install. So yeah, npm is run npm CI, then install Playwright browser, you see. Who is doing this? GitHub Action is doing this. It is called CI file. So we'll learn it later. It is very advanced level, but very important things. So we need to learn basic stuff. So test here. In the test folder, I will enhance little bit today. So before going the test folder, we need another file. We are not writing anything is there, just I'm creating dot environment file. It is very important one, dot env file.
Can you make it bigger, little bit bigger? Very small. It looks very small.
Okay, sure.
Display.
Now
You can
good,
make it.
because if you make bigger, then it will be overlap. It's good now?
No, no, little bit. Is it possible? No more than.
More than this?
Yeah,
Then
I'm not sure it's for my end. Yeah, now it's okay.
it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we'll create one file. Just remember, we are not writing anything here. So environment file. Here, what we will write here. So we will run our test in different environment. So like this, okay, create this one. Environment, it is empty file. So normally, what?
GitHub.
Mm,
The GitHub.
yeah, normally we run our file in lots of environments. Okay, not lots of environment, couple of environment. So, okay, that is my stock one. Okay, so normally we have couple of environments. So in first environment, we say development environment, dev, we call dev, DV. Remember this one, everybody. And next one, QA. Third one is company to company vary, UAT. And final one, prod by production. Prod. That's called PR production. Is in short, we say prod. Prod. Right? So in a standard environment, big environment, corporate, everywhere, you will get these four environment. Sometimes in between QA and UAT, there is another environment in between here is called a staging or a stage. A stage. T A G stage. So a stage or staging, whatever you say, or sandbox, but normally this is the environment. Okay, so here is things. If dev and QA is must, and production is of course must one. So dev, QA, and production, and in between staging, some company use staging, they skip UAT, but some company use all of these: dev, QA, staging, UAT, and production. Just remember, there is a 5 environment. Standard environment 5, development, QA, staging, UAT, and production. UAT means user acceptance testing. Who are doing testing here? Mainly product people, right? Who gave us requirements. In the first class, I said what is product, product people's job, right? They give us requirement and they give us acceptance criteria, and based on these acceptance criteria, developers develop and QA test, QA make their test plan, and developer make their developing design. They code, and QA also code their automation. They tested, everything is good. Whenever QA looks good, QA environment, then we deploy it in UAT. So in UAT, the people who gave us requirement, that means product people, they will test it. If everything is fine, then we'll deploy to production. Clear, everyone? Uh, just give thumbs up or anything, then I will understand you were clear. Okay, Wasim, Ashraf, you should understand. Okay, and Ashraf, you understand. Okay, so we have 4 environments. So staging, okay, 5 environments. So now just think about this. The automation we write, our automation test, this one. So this is our automation. Automation suite. Okay, here when developer finish their job, they move it to QA. Whenever they move it to QA people has to test it. Manual people doing manual things, automation people or SDET or whatever you say. So their job is running the automation test on QA. That is the first job. So it should be regression, must be regression. Regression means what? We will understand day by day. I think you guys understand already regression. So regression means here I have 100, 200, 500 of tests. I have to run all those tests on Q environment. But developer added some new features and they add those things in the existing feature and deploy it in QA. In QA, I have whole application. So I have to run my automation in QA to test whole application so that we have to make sure anything breaks or not. As well as we have to automate the new feature they added here. We have to add this test here for the new feature, and we have to write everything on the QA. That is the first job. It's called regression or feature test, but in QA we normally run the regression. Regression is for QA and feature testing. Feature testing means they add some feature and they add it with existing application and deploy it QA. And QA people will run the add the new features test and run whole automation suite on the QA. So if you get any bug or anything, you have to report here and they fix it, they deploy it, you do it again here. So whenever you do everything here, then they deploy it to staging. Staging. Then you have this environment setup is for QA. Okay. And also sometimes, not every time, sometimes you have to run your automation in dev also to check dev environment is functional or not, or anything is broken in dev or not. Okay, so you are running your automation on dev environment, you are running automation in Q environment, then it's deployed to a stage. You have to run your automation in a stage, and sometimes you have to run your automation for UAT environment. Okay, got it. And in the production, normally we don't run any automation here. We just do the sanity test or something. Some company prefer to run the automation, that's smoke testing, but normally nobody I don't want to say nobody. Lots of people actually run the automation on production, but it is very limited one. Don't create any users, don't create any order, don't create any product, no data related things because it's production data. So normal functionality like all links are working, then uh, page navigation is fine, then all apps is actually accessible, or fields are good, like this, just sanity test, especially end-to-end sanity kind of things, but don't create any data here. So normally we have to run our automation in dev, QA, stage, and UAT. So this is the four environment. Even production also, because we need to run our sometimes some company actually prefer to run the smoke switch in the production. That means we have four environment, actually five environment. So that's why you have to configure this environment file fast. So I am not doing it. I'm just giving you basics so that when we'll do later, it will be clear to you guys. So in dev, then QA, then what stage, then UAT, then prod. Okay. So now common sense. For dev, so we have to configure all those things here. So I'm just writing in short here. For dev, just think about this. We'll configure it later. For dev, what we need? We need URL for dev URL. URL means what? You guys know, right? Then access, username, password. A lots of things, then AWS access and lots of things. But in short, you need these three things for dev. You also need these three things for Q environment. What is this? Then you also need these three things, at least these three things for staging. For UAT. For prod. Okay. So what does URL means? You know. So I told in the main class or other class, normally who worked, they all obviously know, but who didn't work before, for them I am telling. So the URL, this call URL, what type of URL is it? Anybody can tell me? Open your microphone and tell me. Ashraf, do you know?
If I think
This is production URL,
this,
right?
uh, yes, yes.
Because I already deployed it. It is production.
Oh, okay.
That
Oh,
is,
this is production. Yeah.
yeah, this is production because you guys can also access this one. If you write this domain name, you
Mhm.
can access this application. That means it is in production. It's public, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So that is production environment. Okay. So production URL. So it would be production URL. It's a production URL. Why it is production URL? Because it's public. Anybody from the outside, my network, our firewall, whatever, they can access it. That's
This is
called,
a public domain.
yeah, public domain. Okay, fine. So normally, except this one, these four is not public. These four are private. These four are private. It's normal, common sense. These four are
Mhm.
private URL. Those are actually inside my organization, inside my network, right? Inside my
Mhm.
firewall, whatever you can say. Those are the private network. So that outside this network, outside this network, nobody can access dev, QA, UAT stage. So that's why the naming convention will be the same like production, but for dev environment, normally the standard we put dev dot like this, dev. But it is only accessible for my company domain, sorry, company network, company's network, dev dev. If you guys have any question, ask me. So dev. So if it is a Q environment, normally we put like QA here. And this setup is doing in AWS, in the cloud, wherever we are maintaining the server, we set up the environment over there. Environment means nothing, is a server. I'll show you. So the QA is here. Then stage, same thing. Stage would be a stage. And UAT means UAT. So what does it mean? That means in the project we create this environment. What does it mean? Environment means nothing but a server. We create a computer here. We create a computer here. We create a computer here. Computer means server. We create a server here. And we create a server here. Production is also in the server machine. So where we do it? In the AWS, in the cloud, or Azure, MS Azure. I'm giving you some AWS or clouding concepts. So we using AWS or Azure, we create the computer, means server. one server, two server, one server for dev environment, one server for queue environment, one server for staging, one server for UAT, one server for production. And the address of this server is those URLs. So if we write down these things, it will be hit QA machine and we can execute our code in the QA machine. If we use this URL, it will be hitting in a stage and we execute our automation on the staging. Actually, these are the computer. So these are the virtual computer. If you use AWS Lambda, then it will be virtual. If you use AWS C2, I think, yeah, C2E, right, or CE2, CE2, right? Okay, okay, make it sure. See what is AWS CE2. Google it.
Tunbhai,
Yeah.
so AWS deploy automatically all the in all the environment or not?
Yeah.
Or
When we do the AWS in depth, then we will
no,
actually
who deploy in staging environment?
DevOps.
DevOps or
DevOps,
developer?
sometimes developer also, right? Okay, come here. So developer finish their work here, right?
They deploy QA, I know. And who deploy in staging?
Staging also, say developers can do it. Also, some company, okay, some company give access to QA, senior SDET team to deploy. Some company is very flexible, QA, then developer and DevOps, anybody can deploy. And some company are very strict, only developer team or SDET team request or ping in the channel, right? So we need to deploy the updated version to stage. Then they give a message, okay, we are deploying the latest code to staging. Then DevOps team deploy it.
Oh, DevOps or developer. Okay, definitely. I know. Okay, I understand. And
So
one more thing, the AWS only automatically execute in pipeline, or also AWS can do deploy and execute together.
no, nothing is automatic here. You have to create the pipeline and you have to
Mm-hmm.
execute this pipeline. Suppose dev to QA
Okay,
you
okay.
want to deploy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a pipeline uh, like this. Everything is written here, stage by stage, right? So
Mm-hmm.
everything is executing like this. I will show you the pipeline how it is work. So
Okay, okay.
the one pipeline means a job. One job you created, and these jobs actually doing what? Deploy dev code to QA code. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever you need to deploy dev code to QA code, you have to select who is branch, right? Who
Mm-hmm.
is branch? Development branch or master branch or any feature branch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to select the branch, then you have to select everything, then you have to click, you have to run the job. So whenever you run the job is executing, and beside running the job, everything handled by AWS or Azure. So it deploy it. If deployment is successful, it will give the message that deployment is successful. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So here nothing is manual. You have to create a job and you have to execute the job. So whenever you need to deploy dev to QA, you have to run the job. Whenever you need to deploy QA to a stage, you have to run the job. It is very simple, just drag and drop
Mm-hmm.
kind of things. But
Mm-hmm.
creating this flow is complicated, but using this flow is not complicated. Anybody can do it.
Okay, okay, okay.
But this deployment process normally handled by development team and cloud team, both together. And
Okay.
SDET team should be there for verification and everything. So it's combination.
Mm-hmm.
But normal features like development to QA, it is a very easy and not a risky
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Normally
Mm-hmm.
developer do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or SDET need the updated QA version, SDET can do it by themselves. Okay.
Okay.
But the
Okay, thank you.
QAT and production, I am talking about the production things, is very complicated. Not developer along deploy it. DevOps team, development, and SDET team should be there and all together actually handle it. Okay. But in these environments, anybody can deploy there. It's very easy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So any question from Bhaiya and Wasim?
Yeah, nothing. Yes, okay.
You're clear, right? Because, okay, Wasim
Yeah.
also clear. Good. Okay, so now, and I told you these are the server. Environment means a server and it has a one location means one name. So we can access the server using this name. I tried to search AWS EC, EC2. You see, AWS EC2 is nothing but a server. It's create the machine. In the AWS, it is creating a server. Build, deploy, and manage website, apps, resource, whatever. If you need, you can go, just mark it, just read it, what is, or just write it, what is, okay. You will
In
see
AWS and AWS EC2, it's the same thing.
EC2, yeah, is a server.
It's a server. So normally we call as a AWS.
Huh. So AWS has lots of feature. So EC2, one of them.
Oh, okay.
AWS lots of services. It's called services. EC2. Suppose I have a company. In my company, I just need a server, nothing else. Just server, right? I don't want to buy the server. I want to use this server in the cloud and where I can deploy my application. That's it. Right? So in that case, I can go to AWS and I can just license EC2 server. That's it. But if you need lots of stuff, how many services are there? If you go to AWS, you will see lots of services. And show you just 1 second.
EC2 is one of them. Okay.
Yeah. AWS, if you go to AWS, so a server, I should connect. Login, I
We
forgot.
need to understand this because we always heard about like AWS, AWS.
I forgot my password. I'll show you later, but now I can Google it, just AWS list of AWS services. You see? Hey, look, those are the main services for AWS. Lambda is most famous, one of the famous. Then you will see everything is here. Then we need this one a lot, S3.
So
Then,
those all of the server basically, but different name. Is
huh?
that right? Right.
Huh?
These are the all the server,
Hey,
cloud
look,
server.
look, key services, categories, and example. Computer. If you need computer from AWS, you will buy AWS EC2. You see the virtual server?
Hmm.
If you need storage, if you need hardware in a cloud, you don't need to buy a computer. You don't need to license for computer. Just go for AWS S3. Is a storage. Okay? Like a storage we use in the Gmail, right? Cloud storage. So for AWS, storage is S3. We call S3 bucket. Okay?
Oh, okay.
If you need only database in AWS, like you need a database, NoSQL database, but you don't want to maintain server in your company by yourself, you need some clouding stuffs, right? So that you don't need to hire anybody, cloud will handle anything. You can go only for database. That call AWS DynamoDB. That's it. And for relational database, they have also option RDS. And AWS Aurora also, it is like same thing like MySQL. So you can use that database too. If you need networking, you can use. If you need security, every services has defined purpose. Okay. If you need developer tools, they actually give all those things. You can build your code, you can deploy your code. Yeah, this is the pipeline for deploying. So code pipeline, using code pipeline, we can create the pipeline for the deployment process. Everything is there. They have more than couple of hundreds of services. So most prominent services are those. And this is the most important service because people use AWS mostly for server, right? Like create this environment is very complicated if you maintain in your office without cloud. So if you maintain AWS and you license EC2, So you can create one server using EC2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and production is dedicated server. Got my point?
Mhm.
Okay. So now where are we? So we created environment, but we just give the knowledge here so that when we really set up the environment file, you guys have little bit knowledge of this. That's why I actually talked that much and showed everything. So just giving you basic. I hope you are clear. So actually environment I put in the wrong place. It should be here, outside here. But no, it should be
Yeah, that
here.
was my one of the questions.
Yeah.
It is under GitHub or it is under
No,
project?
no, yeah, now is good, right? You see, now is good. It should be under the root project. That's called root project. And inside root project, GitHub and .ignore, sorry, .environment, gitignore, everything will be there. So same structure. So in the test, now come to the test. In the test, we have to create some folder because in the test, we'll test three things. UI, that's called UI. We need a folder for UI. Then we need to create another folder for API. We'll cover these things. We automate API too. And another things, DB, we also do DB automation. Then we need what else? Tell me anybody. Another, we create end-to-end.
UI.
UI I already wrote.
Okay.
Okay. Another E2E.
EE,
E,
End to end, yeah, E to
yes.
E to E.
E2E. This called end-to-end. That is normal standard uh, uh, configuration. And sign up here other day we worked on sign up. So that is part of sign up. That is part of UI. So move it to UI. Why it is not moving? Oh, shit. It should be drag and drop, but I don't know why it is not moving.
Copy paste করা যায়?
Yeah, I can do, but can't. But it should be drag and drop. There is no option to. Let's see. It should be working because
Correct. Is there any export? Import export something like that?
no, import export no. We can do it different way. I can show you the trick. If it is not working, go to the folder, right? It's easy. Go to the folder, and where is your project? Here, right? So automation, then what? Under test, right? You see? Sign up, move it. It's still not working. It should be working. Move it here. Why it is not moving? It should be.
No, because I think
No, it will be moving. Hold on. Something. Okay, then copy it, paste it. It's not allowing copy paste. Why? Because I am running the. Let me call. Yeah, it is important. Let me close. Now, why? It is actually. You guys can try your machine. I think it is a problem in my machine, but normally it should be moving. Just a minute. It's warning. Why it is warning? Deprecated extension. Oh, okay, it's fine. Not a problem. I made a mistake. That's why I'm stupid. So you guys didn't tell me, right? So what is this?
API.
It is not a folder, right? I create a file here, right? It's folder. I need to create these things. You see?
Oh, it
That's
should be before.
yeah. So delete it. That's why.
Please delete all of them.
Yeah, delete it. Move to trash.
Should be folder, not the file.
Yeah, move to trash. You see? They need to UI also. So now create from the beginning. So first, we need to create a folder for UI. All UI related tests will be in this folder. UI. Okay. Then in test, create another one, API. Okay. So create another one, DB. And naming convention always like this, lowercase. Okay. Then create another one, E2E. Okay. Okay. And this is our UI test. So move it to UI. Now we should move. Yeah, move. You see, now it's moved, right? So we'll cover, make it bigger, right?
Yeah, more than, yeah. Can you
Okay.
make it one? Okay, yeah, now it's okay.
So under test, must, it is a standard because we are going step by step in the robust framework. So now we are in the very basic level, but I want everybody understand clearly. That's why. So in test folder, normally we put, actually we organized our test in that way. Under API folder, we'll write all API related tests. Under DB, we write all those DB related tests. Under UI, we'll write all UI related tests. And under
Database.
E2E, we will write all, what is this? All UI related, sorry, E2E related test. We will actually know in a further class what is E2E. Now come to the UI because we are only focusing UI from the basic classes. Those are advanced level, we'll learn later. So under UI, you can divide the folder in a more organized way. That is actually originally and in practical life we do it. So just think about this. This is our application. This is our application. Okay, so it has couple of modules. It has functionality. Based on functionality, we have to divide this application, right? So in that case, we can divide our application based on its module or functionalities module. So you have question? You guys need break? Is 8 o'clock. So for prayer. Hello.
No, yeah, it's okay. Prayer time. It's okay.
Tell me when is the prayer time. Then you guys can take break.
In here, prayer time is 7:45. Like
Okay. So okay. Let me know when you guys need 5 minutes, 10 minutes break. Okay.
okay.
So in that case, in big application, there are lots of module or lots of product. And here, if we think our application is like this, because it is a e-commerce site, we can break it down. We can break it down with couple of module or couple of features. So based on these features, we can also organize our test. So here feature is one is here, that is sign up, sign in. That means it is an authentication feature. So you can break it down here in more granular way. So you can create another folder under UI. You can write authentication, auth or AUTS.
Queen, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
That is, the project name is now tests.
Huh?
But in the project name is now test, no? TESTS, test
Oh, yeah,
project.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. This one?
yeah, but this one, yeah. But the real life, it should be anything. Is it true?
No, 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 no. In Playwright, you can put tests. It's fine. Because
Oh,
Playwright must, you have to put the test. Because why I'm saying, when you install the Playwright, right? You remember you
mm-hmm,
start a test, right?
mm-hmm.
So if you write anything that time, then you can use that one. But when you install Playwright, you select test is a default folder for test, then you have to write test in test.
But before install, it should be anything. Before install the Playwright.
Before install, when you installing Playwright, it give you the option, right? TypeScript or JavaScript, then it give you option, GitHub flow or not. You press enter, right? Then that time it gives a option where you put your all test under test files is default. So you select enter. That means you select test is your default test folder. Okay.
Okay.
It is a standard. Everywhere doing it. For Selenium and other stuff, you can write, UI test, this, but in Playwright, it is a standard. Under test folder, you have to organize everything.
Okay. So for our application name is say Spectrum. Say given an example.
Mhm.
So project name is normally you always use the project name. Like project name is Spectrum. But in the Playwright, it should be it should be test,
It should
not
be
the Spectrum.
TESTS test folder because by default Playwright give you test folder for
Test folder.
putting all those tests inside it. So
Okay.
I recommend keep the default things, default setup because Playwright actually if you keep the default setup, then it will be actually helpful because Playwright develop the features or the advanced things based on their configuration. So don't need to break it.
Okay. That's good. You're fine. Yeah, go
Be-
ahead.
Because under test you can divide everything, you can organize. So look, I organized UI test, this page UI test, and based on these two features, two functionality, I put in one folder is called auth. Auth means authentication. Clear? Because these two are related to authentication, right? Nothing else. Because I need to sign up to authenticate and I have to sign in to enter my site. So these are authentication related, right? So
Mm.
I create a folder called authentication. So sign up should be inside this folder. Okay, good. Got it. What the hell? Okay. Auth.
No, under UI.
Yeah, under you. Oh,
UI is for
okay.
application.
So, wait, those are gone. That is the problem. Okay. Mm, just hold on 1 second.
Go ahead and UI.
This
Have
file
any
is there.
difference?
So put these things in UI. It should be working. Okay, it has one folder. That's why like this. Okay, let me see. We can figure it out. We can solve it. But normally it one by one. Okay, so auth. Now come for another feature. Find it out. So we should have normally in the document and everything it was there. So we are just learning. So that's why we can break it down here. That is a shopping cart. So shopping cart would be one feature. So auth Then let's see where it is going. Yeah, it is actually broken something. So delete it. Auth should be deleted. If I delete auth, then something happened here. That is the problem. Let me fix it. Yeah, so folder structure is good. Why it is working like this? I have no idea. So it's fine. Try to add another one. So auth, then it should be shopping cart, right? Or card or shopping cart. Underscore card.
But we can use the card as a capital.
Yeah.
Because,
Or you can use card. Yeah. Now
Link.
under auth, yeah, it is look good now. Okay. So what else? Then,
Did you
huh? Then another is payment flow. That is very important, right? So if you click in a product authentication, then yeah, you select those things will be whatever I will decide. But add to cart, then you have to sign in. Then what else? Okay, and then go to card again. Let's see. Okay, sign in, add to card, sorry, card. It actually added to cart is added. Go to cart. I think I didn't add this feature. Yeah. So how to payment? I need to add these things. Okay, I'll do it later today tomorrow. Okay. So after shopping cart, we can do the payment steps. There should be okay. So there should be okay. I will add it. So there should be another functionality for payment, right? Here shopping cart. Okay. So here another should be. Remember, I need to add the payment system. Okay, shopping cart. It should be CRT. Okay. So two component already we added. So third component or fourth component would be what? Payment workflow, or we can tell informally payment flow. Clear. So inside payment flow, we'll write all payment related test. Okay. The next one. Search will be under product. Then new arrival will be also under product. Category is also under product. Deal will also under product. So product will be big feature. All product, all are product. Okay. So one will be product or products. Okay, great. Then come to product. What is there? Okay. Here filter also under product. You see, the product is the very big and main feature. Search, everything will be under product. So what else we need? So if we want to buy 2-3 things, then we need to add some functionality. I will do it. Another thing should be order, right? When I buy everything, if you go to Amazon, if I buy these things after payment is processed, then in my order list, I can see this order, right? And payment and everything, right? And order flow. So another should be order flow, or this is payment flow, and another should be order. Order will be fine. Order.
add to cart is not working, no? Add to
Hmm?
cart.
Hmm?
add to that option is not working. When
No,
you
no, I
click
will add
add
it because I developed it other day in the class. That's why, huh? So I need to add this functionality. Look, in the card it is added. I think something happening in the that is maybe today is Saturday, Saturday. That's why the what is this hosting site is doing some update or something. That's why. But I remember I added payment flow, but I will check it. But it is not harm right now. So add this product, shopping, and other thing. And here another thing is order. Order, a file or folder order. Or okay, fine. So here, okay, order we already did. So order or order flow. Order flow is better. Payment flow, order flow. Yeah, look good. Or order is fine. So look, so all application is like this. They have some component. So you have to divide your test based on the component also. That is the standard rule. Look, under auth, our authentication related components, this one and this one features, and order, I will add some. On order, under order, we will have all the order related things like my previous order, then order flow, check the order, everything, order details, those kind of things, order number. In the payment flow, all the payment related things, that my payment is successful or not, and verification on the all payment phase. And inside the product, it is very big one. And shopping cart, I have to validate all those products are going to shopping cart perfectly or not. So in the product, if you go, that is the big one. And lots of functionalities are there. We have to validate all product, new arrival, categories, and deals. So normally you don't need to categorize these things. So inside the product, you can write your test case. So that is one part. No, I'm just showing you how to divide your test inside the folder and E2 test. Normally we here in our scenario, this scenario, we have only one or two E2 scenario. E2 scenario is mostly just think about this. What is E2 in scenario? It is actually complete scenario for a business process. What is a business process here or business logic here? Tell me anybody. In this side, tell me one business logic or business process. Anybody, just guess. So we will add the business logic in our end-to-end test. So what is the business logic for the e-commerce site? Anybody? Ashraf?
right uh, the product you choose that can be ordered and make a payment.
Okay, yeah. So total end-to-end flow, right? So,
Yes.
so in the test, you have to write down the test name would be verify to, or you can write down verify successfully buy a product, right?
Hmm.
Or successfully buy a product. So that means it will be completing everything, right? So you can write a end-to-end test here. It would be a test. You can write.
So end-to-end and UI, we differ. What the basic difference?
What? End-to-end?
End-to-end and UI. UI is a whole application is UI, but
Uh,
end-to-end is flow of
no,
the
no, no.
functional.
Okay, that is where UI means nothing but what you are seeing. That calls UI, user interface.
User interface, yeah.
UI
Whole
means
application under
UI
one
means
UI.
okay, this is part of UI. This is part of UI. Everything is part of UI. It's called user interface. What we are seeing is called user
Hmm.
interface. So here is the main difference. Okay, I think I can delete it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I told you other day, right? A application has three part: UI, API, and DB.
database.
This is UI. So that is totally different concept. API, this is the application structure, API and DB. DB. So API means user interface. Interface means what? Just Google it, you will see. Interface, int here, FSE. Okay, sorry for this. Okay, I can write it. So interface, user interface means user can interact, user can see the everything, right?
User can, yeah,
Yeah,
visual thing.
visualize. And it
Visual.
is actually depends on HTML and CSS. If you go the code, all you see the HTML code and CSS things, right? That is user interface. All are, you see the elements. Here all codes are what? HTML, right? HTML. And JavaScript also, but I am not telling you JavaScript things because we will learn JavaScript later. But think about this. The UI is only this is CSS for designing the height and everything. If you click this one, you will see the height and everything. Look, the design, color and everything is there. The color, you see, you can change the color. So that is UI. UI is built on HTML. This is the HTML code and this is the CS, right? CS code. CSS. So go here. That is, I will cover these things actually. So HTML, TML, and CSS. That is our UI, is designing part. And JS, JavaScript. But we will learn it later, how JavaScript working on with HTML and CSS. And API what? That is user interface. That API means what? Same thing. It is application, right? What? Tell me anybody. Ashraf, you should.
Application programming interface.
Right, exactly. That is application. What is programming interface? Interface. Okay, sorry. So user interface, user can see is, and application programming interface, user is not seeing. Do you see the any API here? That is very conceptual. Just give me answer. Did you see any user interface? What user means human can see it. That is user interface. And API, application programming interface. Can humans see it? We are seeing the API programming, backend programming. Any coding we are seeing here in the application? No, right?
Yeah.
Right. Who can see this code? Who can see this API? Only this UI can see the API. Because UI call the API. That's why application. This application user interface and this application programming interface. This is all also interface, but we are not seeing. UI can see it and UI can call, talk to API and API can talk to UI. Clear?
Yes.
So that's why it is application programming interface because this application has a interface can talk to this. That's called API. And UI, user interface, because we can see it. Human can see it. That is user interface. But in API side, we can see it. Only this UI can see this API. This API. How? I'm showing you. Look, this UI can see API how? Go to your inspect. This is your UI code, but if you want to see how UI talk to API, you have to go to network. Go to network. Clear it. Then click anywhere. You will see something. Let me show you one thing. Okay, so in the network, select this one. Okay, let me click all products. Okay, you will see UI talk to API, but we are not seeing because 200 means UI successfully talk to API. So whenever we go to API side, we will cover what does it mean. But now think 200 means success. So this UI is talking to this API. but we are not seeing. That's why it's called application interface. Means this application can talk to these API using this interface, whatever interface they have. Interface is like this, API call. So if you see the call, what API did, just open one call, product, you see, this is the header. Header means what API, you should understand what is header. Ah, shit. Just a minute. Give me 1 second. Make it little bigger. Yeah. So you see header EY. This EY requested this URL to the API, to the backend. So this API is backend programming. UI requested to this API using this URL. We don't see this URL. Only program can see this URL because it is in the code. It is in the UI code. How to talk to the product. So whenever it send the request, it is a GET request. It is asking, give me all those product. Then response, the API, this API response with the product list as a JSON file. JSON, JSON, right? JSON. Okay, whatever. Don't just remember this JSON, JSON, because my pen is very bad. So look, this array, it is array and it is object. Remember this object. Every product is an object here because every product has a price, view, name, picture, everything. That's why whenever UI asked, give me all product to who? To the API. Then API returns all product like that way. It's data related. So it is not UI. Sorry, it is not user interface. It is programming level talking. So look, for the first product, for this first product, I think that one, from the AI, we got what? One ID. Every product should have ID. We normally don't see the ID in the UI side. Every product should have a name. You see the name. Sorry. This name is this name. Then Slack, I don't know what is the Slack. Slack means, okay, short name maybe. So look, these things we are not showing in the UI, but those are actually API level things. Description. Description also came from the database, but here we don't see any description. Maybe if we click, then description will come. UI developer design it. Whenever you click, the description will be coming. But API already give you all those information. Then price, you see the price, original price, original price. This is UI design did it, cutting it. But API doesn't know the designing things. They just give us the data. But UI developer make it like this, fancy stuff. Highlighted it and cut it down like this. Then category ID is come from the database API level. We don't see the category ID. We don't need even from the UI perspective. Look, the image come from what? The image is stored in a server. So you have to request it, the HTTP image dot whatever. So these images come from that server. That is another call, API call behind. Then stock, everything, all information are there. So that is API response. It represents what? This is this picture only. This is UI response. Clear? Who
Yeah,
didn't?
absolutely.
Huh? Clear, right? So
Yes,
this
yes.
is API response, but you see, we are not seeing this data, nothing, but in real life, in the UI level, we see this. So that means this is UI, user interface, and this is API, right?
Program. Yeah.
Programming interface. So for all product, here, how many products you will get that much objects here. How can you check how many objects? I will show you one thing. Just copy it. Another tool, just copy it, copy whole things. Go to here, search JSON. It is very helpful tool. JSON viewer or formatter. Viewer, go for JSON viewer. I hope this one. Yeah. So delete. Shit, what is this? I don't need to search it first. Okay. Uh, um, subscribe for ad free. No, I don't need. Why it should be free? Why it is blocking me? I don't know. Okay.
অন্য আছে
Yeah, one not again. But Ada, I like that one. Okay, so if you go here, JSON viewer.
viewer
Okay, this one is okay. I use that one.
formatter, okay.
Yeah, if you go there, you can put all those response, right? Put formatter, then you have to go to viewer. You see all those JSON things. How many objects are there? 0 to 28, right? 28 objects. So if you click on, you see all those information. So you can clearly
So,
view.
so
That is very important. So
yeah,
here it gives us 28 objects. So go to UI. If you close this one, you will see here is 28. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15, 16, 17, right? 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 23, 24, 5, 6, 26, 27, 28. You see, 28 product.
yeah.
So exactly our API returns 21 product, but structure is like this. It is not UI, it is data related things. It is actually programming data, right? User flow interface. You see, these all are one product. Clear, I think.
Yeah.
So
So go back to VS Code, the structure, folder structure.
yeah. So here is our VS Code structure. So API, DB, E2E, and UI. So in the E2E, we are actually in the E2E side. What is E2E? E2E is a business logic. What is the business logic? A complete business logic, end-to-end business logic. So in end-to-end test, it should be not more than 5 or 10 end-to-end tests in your whole project, maybe 10, hardly. So for end-to-end test, we will do a lots of things. We will do full flow from the database to API, whole functionality will be covered. So one test we can run, buy a product successfully. Whenever you put successfully, that means payment process will be also included, right? So you can add a one test successfully buy product. I'm just arbitrarily put it. You guys can find a
Yeah.
better name.
Basically, end to end, if you say end to end like logic, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
It is a what your site or application is serving. So E2E means the complete functionality is a purpose of this application. So it is an e-commerce site. So it's A2E, E2E functionality should be serving customer to search the product and buy a product, right? So your E2E test case will be from the beginning to end how successfully buy a product. So first the customer sign in, log in, then customer search the product, then customer put this product in the shopping cart, then go for payment and successfully pay, and the order will be executed successfully and the order number will be stored in the order list. This kind of things, right? Whole process. That's called end-to-end test. So successfully buy a product. That's it. Product buy.
Basically, is including whole application, no?
Yeah. I just put this name to understand, successfully buy product. Dot, it is a test, right? So dot spec dot What? TS, right? Got it. So this is our UI. DB will holding. It is our last module. We will do it when we complete our framework. Then we will do DB things and API also. But we are doing the project structure today. Okay, fine. In the test, you will divide in everywhere, in any office, anywhere, like this. Okay. So then another thing you need in the root folder, sorry, root structure, it is a root. So in the root, you have to create another folder under here. Okay, it's called not under E2, but under E2. You have to click here. Okay, why it is like this? I don't or click here. Okay, fine. Click here, then put here. Yeah, fine. You see, you can put in the open place, then click is there, then a folder will be created under your project root. Okay, so here, write components. Oh. So in components, you have to write whatever you did in your UI, you have to write the same thing here. It's better to write a components. Compo, maybe it is actually page object model, but we are not covering it. I'm just putting it here. Compo, any components. So inside components, we have to create the pages. Pages means what? I'm say, okay, pages, page, yeah, yes, pages.
Pages should be under UI or under components.
No. It's this UI is test, and this is your page object model.
This is the framework.
Yeah, this is the framework. So component and pages. So inside pages, we need another one, util. So UI util and UI picture, because we need those things, just writing it down here. So another one, util, or a better helper. Okay. We'll cover those things later. So in components, pages, under pages, what we will actually put? All the pages, because we will design later page object model. So all pages will be under here, and all locators and everything. We will design it because we will going further day by day. Here will be component, and another we need here under the same structure. We need another one, utils. Utils folder. UTILS, utils. In utils, we will write all those common programs, like how to send email if your test fail, then how to connect the database, then how to connect to AWS, those kind of things. All this is not test under util. We will not write the test. We will write the solid program. Those program will be working to make this framework functional.
U- Utils also is the util it's including page of it, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
utils should be separate. There could be lots of util and helper file, is up to you, but that is standard folders, because if anybody asks you, you have to tell them. That's why I'm writing it down. And that is very basic. You should have those
Oh,
things.
util should go under the root level, right?
Root level, yeah.
Oh,
And
I see, I see.
here you have to write down one most important thing for API. You have to write down API fixture file, right? That is important. Fixture. FIXT.
15 minutes that where is those thing I can go through it, like framework like you just mentioned right now, for better understanding, file name naming.
Uh, I will update, but those things are not. But you can write down those things because these are practical things, right? But
Okay.
in
Because
15 minutes,
I
yeah, in 15 minutes, what I put, those are actually fundamental and you must theoretical, right? Those things.
okay.
You must have to, yeah, look, those is the folder structure. What you are asking, it is here. But if you see this one, you will not understand, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look, node module, test, everything is there, right? Same thing. Then config file, but this is practical things. So theoretical things are here and practical things we are actually talking, and our video is there too, right?
Mm.
So if you go there, all theoretical stuff is there, but you cannot write down all those folder structures right in here. But I will probably I will create another module here for framework. Inside framework, I will put a whole complete project structure
I think that would be better for a future
later.
reference. Yeah.
Later, because this is updated every day. I do whenever I get time, I do it. Okay. So we are here right now. So one picture file, but it should be right API picture. So important. Picture is the everything for Playwright. That's why Playwright is so popular. So we will understand picture, but before understanding picture, we have to understand the JavaScript and TypeScript. But it is advanced level. So I'm just putting it the name so
Oh,
that you have.
picture, pic- picture, picture only. We have to use picture only for API or also
No, no,
UI.
no, no, no. Look, I'm not finished yet. So
Okay.
UI picture. Sorry, API picture. I'm sorry.
No, no.
This is
Oh,
API
okay. I
picture.
see.
For every component, there should be different one picture, right? Or lots of pictures, but this is API related feature. That's why we need to put these things.
Picture. We put here picture as a library, right?
No, no, no. Picture is very is
Function
a solid
library.
programming. I will tell you.
Yeah,
Picture means
yeah, yeah.
if you go to
Reusable
the
function.
test. Okay, okay, hold
Yeah.
on. If you go to the test, UI test,
Mhm.
we write one test here, right? What in under auth. So if we do, yeah, look here, page is a picture.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we can create because this page picture Playwright give us.
Oh,
Playwright give
this
us
built-in.
four
Yeah,
five
yeah.
features. Those are built in,
Mm.
right? We are using it.
Built-in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in real
We have
life,
to create a
we have to create
custom picture.
lots of customized feature, right?
Yes.
So those feature, if we implement, if we import those feature in our test, our life will be so easy. We don't need to write lots of code. In the test, we can just call those function or you understand.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes.
This
I
kind
understand.
of
Thank you.
configuration. Feature means kind of configuration.
Mhm.
Here, if you go
Mhm.
to page,
Mhm.
control, okay, control, yeah, oh, shit, comment. Okay, if you click on this, you see 7,000 or more than 10,000 line of
Mhm.
code, right?
Yeah.
If you don't use page picture in your test, you have to write more than 1,000 lines of code in your test, right?
Mhm.
But
So
feature is not the code, no? It's the two different words.
picture is a code, picture is a file. You see, the page is a
Picture
file,
is a
is a JavaScript
program
file.
file.
Yeah, is a file or module.
Picture
And
make, I think the picture make is
okay, so picture
it
is
make a
nothing
bit
but
smaller.
let me finish. Yeah, Ashraf. So by default, Playwright give this page picture and other couple of browser and other picture so that we don't need to write this code again and again because we can just input this file or whatever module inside your test and we can use look the page dot locator this function page has this locator so it's easy. So same way we can create our picture, maybe it's called page number one, page two, page three, so that our test will be more automated, more organized, and more clean and more reusable. Understand? because we need it. Because in the auth,
Yes.
in the API side, we need lots of configuration. So we can put all those configuration inside the API feature file. And in the test, we can just, instead of this space, in the API test, we can put API, the feature name, whatever we put feature name, not this name. We have to, when we code it, we have to give a name. So as example, I can write API feature, FIXTURE. If we import your API feature, you will get all those functions and functionality I write here. You can directly call here. Clear?
Yes.
Baya, you are good. And Wasim?
Yeah, it's good, but in future more question about that maybe.
Yeah. So we have to write
Now
feature.
I understanding it.
We have to write these feature things when we design day by day the framework. So we need one API feature. DB we don't need. E2E might be we don't need, but we just ignore it right now. And one we need for UI. So we will write UI feature. We need lots of features, but in general, I'm just giving the idea. So feature dot yes. Okay. So that is good. Our structure is looking good in the very basic level. You have to remember this. That's why I go, one by one. So if anybody asks you, what is your project structure? You said playwright config, package.json. Then you had added git ignore for what? Environment for what? I already told. Then utils will write. But right now, remember utils, all those necessary program files. Under test, you have to divide like API, DB, E2E, and UI. And under UI, you have to divide the component and one feature file will be there. Then in the API, you say one feature file is there and all API test I wrote here. Whenever we go API, we'll discuss about this. And you have to tell the components. Under components, you have a helper file for all those helper file. I will write it. Just tell them under helper file, you wrote all those common files for all those pages. And under pages, you have to write page object model. You have to divide, you have to actually create one class for each pages. So for this page, one class will be here, we will add it. For this page, we will add another one. For details, we will add another one. For this one, we'll add another one. For this one, we'll add another classes. But for those are advanced level now. So I hope you guys understand the basic things. And another things we need, another most important, one of the most important, it's called another folder. It should be test config, test config folder. Config folder. So inside test config folder, wait, we will actually create the test suites. We will organize how our test will be running, how our smoke test will be included, what regression suite in what test actually regression suite includes. All those test related configuration we will do it. So our goal is today's goal, not writing test config right now. Our goal is to give you the idea of the framework, the overall structure, so that you can tell in anybody, because it is job oriented course, not the certification oriented course. So the common question, so how you design your framework, playwright framework for your last project. So you have to tell them, so I designed the framework from this case. So it was page object model, but including API, because it is combined, because Playwright support API. So I also include API framework inside my framework. automation framework. So it has actually serving API framework, API automation, UI automation, E2E automation, and DB automation. And I configure Playwright configuration file based on, we'll discuss later. Then packages, I config environment so that my test will be running in all environment based on sometimes is on demand or sometimes automated in CI pipeline. Then you have to tell I design util. I create a folder called utils, and under utils I write all those utility files. It is based on TypeScripts. Then tell some of the name like DB connection and those. Then I have one test config file. Inside test config file, I wrote all those tests related to the execution of my test based on smoke test, then based on regression test, this kind of things. We'll discuss, but I'm just giving a demo. Then in component, what you did, you actually divided two folders. Under pages, you wrote all those pages as a class. And then you also write the GitHub config file, that is workflow file, so that your test will be running in GitHub Actions like this. Got my point? That is very important. So you have to tell in details. So get an idea. You don't need to master of this right now, but you have to master of these things when you deliver, so that people will understand you worked on it. Because in real life, you don't need to create might be all those things, because whenever you join in any company, you will get everything is configured. Maybe you have to write only UI test here. Maybe in one component you have to write this test here. Got my point? But you have to tell these things every time. Okay.
Yep.
So I will actually ask you to go to these videos today and test. Those tests are so far what we did in the test. We just test. We create this test. So did you guys practice on it? Write any test? I want you guys just write, play. What is this? Just familiar with this. Familiar with this. Write couple of tests like sign in tests. Sign up is there. Write another one. Sign in. Then my goal is I will not waste my time and your time to writing those tests here. So our goal is designing framework. Maybe I will write another two or three end-to-end tests to how to do those things. Then we will jump in the what is this framework. So I think
Framework.
it's better, right? Because those things you guys can do it easily, but framework you guys can do it. So my focus is going to framework as soon as possible. That's why we will jump into JavaScript and TypeScript, might be next
Yeah,
class.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So whenever we learn this
Twin
programming
bhai.
language, we can
Yeah,
develop.
yeah,
But
yeah.
these
Twin
things,
bhai.
that's why I'm asking. Just Washim, for Washim, Bhaya, and Ashraf. Ashraf, you don't need, those things. Go here, create a flow, like how to click it. I saw other day, right? So using CodeGen, you can do it. Just get familiar with this. But framework is very important. So that's
Yeah.
from the next class we will write actually we learn JavaScript and TypeScript parallelly, and we come back to our framework and we improve it day by day. Okay.
Okay. I think, Twin bhai, we have to focus on first the TypeScript and
I
JavaScript.
will I will do it
Yeah.
next class, because I
Mhm,
am not
mhm,
wasting any time for these things. These are
mhm, mhm,
very, very easy things. You can do it. But the main thing is design a framework. The
mhm,
coding. These things easily anybody can do it.
mhm,
So
mhm,
finding the locator and the test flow. So
mhm.
practice on it, because I give you the
Yeah,
site.
yeah. Before developing framework, then I think you should teach some TypeScript and
I
JavaScript.
will do it. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah,
From the
yeah.
next week, we'll jump into JavaScript and TypeScript.
Mhm,
Whenever we learn, the moderate level or some
mhm,
concept, we
mhm.
implement this concept here in framework every day.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then parallelly, we will design the framework and we learn the uh, JavaScript and TypeScript. So first two class will be basic JavaScript and TypeScript things so that you will understand what is loop, what is variable, how to calculate, how to create a function, what is JavaScript class, TypeScript class, because those things we need to implement here. Then we'll actually write our real test here. But for your practice, you guys can do every verification, like how to click these things, how to validate these things using Playwright code gen. Other day I
Mhm.
showed you, right?
But in one thing, before call gene, we need to be manually need to know how to write a uh, how to select the components like
Got it. Got it.
SSL.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, that is part of manually when I design framework, then I showed you. But in the meantime, just focus on the logic introduced with the Playwright tool using the code gen, right?
Mm.
So here as example, like this one, right? If you go here, so the difference of Playwright and Selenium is huge. Here, if you go to the basic one, just read it, or you can read it from the Playwright documentation. Uh, where I put the selector in the locator.
Select.
Selector. Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult to
Yeah.
find out this.
Look. These are the selectors in Playwright. Is not similar to what you learned so far from the Selenium, right?
Mm.
So you see the selectors, how it looks in Playwright. Playwright mostly use get by role, get the text, this kind of things. So better if you go here. So I will actually recommend you must read this one, Playwright documentation, Playwright doc here, and if you go to the doc here, and you will find the locator things. Must be here. In station, generate right test. What is this? Locator search. They don't have search. Yeah, locator. Okay. Filtering locators. What is filtering locators? Right. I'm just giving. Yeah, look, locators. Go to this link. Are you watching? So if you go to locators, that's why it's so important. Playwright document is very important file. So you see in Playwright, they have this kind of locators. In Selenium, we use ID, class,
Plus, yeah.
intent, right? Those things. But in here, in Playwright, they have get by row, get by text, get by label, get by placeholder, get by alter text, get by title, get by test ID. So test ID and get by role are most important, and these two is more than enough in every complex project or whatever you work, right?
So the
Get by
playwright
ID means
unique
the
for
same thing.
SL,
Get by
yeah,
ID means
CC,
same thing as Selenium ID. And
Selenium
get
ID.
by
Okay.
role is so important. Every component you can find by get by role. I will go through it. That's why I'm asking, use get code gen. Familiar with this, then manually we can do it. When
Okay.
we design the framework, we will do everything manually, not code gen. But now I am asking you code gen so that you will be familiar. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That time also we'll asking we'll actually do some CS and what is this XPath also, but never use
XPath, CL,
XPath
yeah,
and CSS in your
CSS, yeah.
project because Playwright doesn't recommend using XPath and CSS. Okay,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
we'll do it. We're learning it, not a problem. But in the meantime, try to automate this flow. Okay, other day I give you, show me. If you guys don't can do it, I will show you. But it is very easy. Open code gen, sign up with it, then do sign in things. Okay, after sign in, because all code will be just click on the product and click on one product and try to edit the shopping cart. It is your homework. Just do it. We will do everything uh, later when we design the framework, but we have to jump into the main things because those things nobody will going to ask you in interview. Every time People will be asking you in your real code and real job and everywhere, how you design the framework. You have to learn it first. You have to learn
Oh, okay.
coding things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So watch this video, memorize everything what I said, because these are most important interview question will be coming from here regarding Playwright, and try to automate those things using CodeGen, not manually. And another task I am giving, just brush up JavaScript things, just basic things. Just you don't need to understand. Just go through it. Next class we will jump into JavaScript that from the beginning, and next 3 class will be JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Wasim, you
Okay.
have any question? Okay, Ashraf, I think you don't have.
No, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine with I'm fine with
Okay, and Bhaiya, you are fine. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you.
care.